It's cool to care. This book is dedicated to all young carers to recognise and appreciate the incredible contribution they make to their families and local communities. The story, It's Cool to Care. In a tropical rainforest, a mother bird cried out, "I've lost an egg. One of them hasn't hatched." "I'll find it, Mum," said Jack. "Nature can be tough," said Mum. "Mum," said Jack, "what have you always taught me? Caring for things is what makes us different." And so Jack searched high and low for that missing egg. It was midnight and pouring with rain when he finally saw it. The egg was hanging on a branch. The branch hung over a fast-flowing river, and the wild wind was swinging it to and fro. "Oh, brilliant," said Jack. "It couldn't be easier." He edged towards it. The branch creaked and groaned. As he got closer, he was sure he heard a voice coming from the egg. "Leave me be. I'm not coming out." "It's okay, little egg," said Jack. "I'm your brother, and I will help you no matter what life throws at you." He reached out and collected the egg and nursed it to him. He promised his mother he'd keep it warm until it hatched. He kept on talking to it too. "You can do this, little egg. I'm waiting, and I'll be here when you need anything. Come on, hatch for me, please." Days passed, and Jack wouldn't give up. Then it happened. A little crack, and then another. Out popped the strangest looking creature Jack had ever seen. "Wow," said Jack. "You look so different. But you're my sister, and I will care for you. It looks like your wing is broken, and you may never fly." The little one was called Thelma. Jack fed her and looked after her. When it was time for the other chicks to take flight, Thelma couldn't leave the tree. But Thelma was determined to fly just like the others. Jack was so tired from caring for his little sister that he'd fallen asleep. In that moment, Thelma ran along the branch as fast as her legs would carry her and leapt off. And she fell and fell and fell until she hit the floor of the rainforest with a thump. There, a jaguar was waiting, and it was just about to pounce when something landed in its eyes. Jack had woken up and searched for his sister. He'd had to act quickly and aimed a boot at the jaguar's head. It gave him time to grab Thelma and fly away. "That was close," said Jack. It wasn't the first time Jack had got into trouble caring for his little sister. He'd fallen asleep in bird school because he was so tired. And he'd lost friends because he had no time to go out anymore. And things were about to get a lot worse. Thelma was determined to be herself. "It's not safe for you to go out alone," said Jack. But it wasn't safe for Jack either. The jaguar remembered him and waited. It wanted revenge. One day, when Jack was collecting food for Thelma on the forest floor, a huge dark shape loomed over him. He tried to fly away, but he was pinned down. "Not such a clever little bird after all, are we?" said the Jaguar. "Who's smiling now?" Jack was trapped. There was no way out this time. "And when you're gone," said the Jaguar, "I'll enjoy your sister as another little meal too. Nature can be tough." The Jaguar opened its huge jaws. And then the strangest thing happened. The Jaguar fell with all its weight on top of Jack. He couldn't see or hear a thing. He thought it was the end of him. Then he felt a weight being lifted. He opened his eyes at last and was almost blinded by the sun. He wasn't sure where he was. Then he saw Thelma. There were other birds there too. They were all his friends from bird school. They told him how Thelma had raised the alarm, and working together they had dropped a huge stone onto the Jaguar. They put the big cat on a log and sent it down the river. It would not be back. "You're such a great carer, Jack," said one of the birds. "But you are never alone." They told Jack how many other birds help to look after brothers or sisters, and sometimes mothers or fathers that were old or ill. "It's what makes us special," said Thelma. Jack smiled, and he wasn't the only one. If you're a young carer and need some support, speak to a teacher in your school. Young carers are children under the age of 18, and young adult carers are under the age of 25. They provide care and support to a family member who is disabled, physically or mentally ill, or needs support because of substance misuse. The care they provide could be personal, practical, and/or emotional. As a Gwent region, we have worked in partnership with the Welsh Government, Nair Bevan University Health Board, 5 local authorities, Community Health Council, third sector, schools and carers themselves to ensure we support carers of all ages across all settings. We recognise that many young adult carers remain hidden, and identifying and supporting them can have a huge positive impact on their health and well-being, as well as allowing them to feel supported and understood. We celebrate the fantastic work they do and want to support them to have the same opportunities in life as their peers.